10 toes down in my B22s. Young ST hit the T and he blew. Pat came in, disappeared like the moose. Yeah, I'm at the mud, yeah, I'm really the truth. 10 toes down in his Christians, yours. They know me by my real name in the store.
Hello, I'm Kieran O'Connor and welcome back to episode 26 of the Week in the Life series. Today is Monday morning and I am at Kite Beach. And that's because we are going on a walk before we start a very, very big and productive week. I have just about recovered from last week's networking event. Last week's focus, as you might have noticed, was on networking. This week is on sales and business development. But what does that mean? Well, if you're in recruitment, you know exactly what business development and sales mean. But if you're not and you're watching this content, here's what you can expect. We've got 5 open vacancies right now. So that means we're going to be sourcing for candidates and also trying to match up which ones are going to be the best fit for our opportunities. On the sales and business development front, we are landing and expanding into the UAE and more importantly, Dubai. So not only will you see and hear about me making some outbound activity, both from a phone, video and email perspective in the UAE, but we're also going to be looking after our European, UK-based and US clients. P.S. We're also expecting a deal in the US this week, and it might be one of our biggest deals yet, so make sure you stick around to the end. Outside of that deal in the US, we've also got 2 more that are UK-based, so if things go our way, if the recruitment gods are with us, we might have a couple to show in live time. And the reason why we show these is to show exactly how we speak to people, deliver offers, and make sure that we get the best outcome possible for the candidate, but also the client as well. If it comes to the end of the week and I watch this vlog back, I'll know I've had a successful week by if I've booked enough meetings. The objective for this week is to meet as many people as I can. We don't just do that through the phone, we also do that through LinkedIn videos, as I mentioned, LinkedIn messaging, emails, anything you can imagine. Multi-channel outreach is what we like to do to try and get in front of the people. So, sales, meetings, deals. Stick around to the end.
I had reasonable doubt as my intro. We swing around with illmatic, say you involved. Heard they ran off on the plug by the 10th load. All the stress why I need my money tenfold. I took a chapter out the mob page.
Today has been absolutely nuts and very focused on BD. Got 9 minutes until I'm meeting a CFO online to review some of these candidates from last week, so I'm in a bit of a rush. Hopefully this call goes well and it results in some interviews. I made it. I've just got myself set up in front of the laptop. I'm ready to go and I'm excited to review these CVs. So, quick recap while I've got 2 minutes. So, like I mentioned in the elevator, I'm going to be meeting the CFO that I met last week to review the applicants. Because we're working with a US-based company who are hiring in the UK for a very technical, very senior data position, I gave myself 5 working days rather than 3 to find the right candidates. I'm someone that always wants to set ambitious deadlines, but if it's the first time working with a company, you know, on a difficult position, I never want to set myself up for failure. So we gave myself a 5-day turnaround timeline, but we delivered in 3 working days, which I'm pretty happy about. I'm going to review the 4. I'm pretty confident it should result in 4 interviews. 4 of them are all very, very strong. They tick the box of technical ability and culture and soft skills as well. Plus, I've got 1 minute, but I checked my emails before this and we've had an offer through. So after this, I'm going to call the candidate, make sure that person is happy to accept, and it should be an offer. Great way to start a Monday. Hello, I'm very good today. What about you? Good, yeah, very, very good. I'm very, very good. How was your meeting on Friday? It's a busy end to the year for you then? You seem confident and then, you know, I was going to trust anyone, I'm going to trust you in this instance. I know the feeling, but I'm glad it went well. Where would you like to start? I'm assuming you've had time to see the 4 profiles. What was your first thoughts? So I think is the strongest technically and commercially. She probably ticks all of the boxes. When you speak to her, she's just she got a great personality where she's corporate, but not corporate at the same time. She's wonderful at building relationships, even with me. And then in terms of her technical ability of actually analysing, managing, presenting data at board level, is second to none. She really is the strongest for me. So I really like her. Yeah, equally and have some similarities. I think is stronger on the technical side of things, but I think is a great communicator and has the background also that we're looking at as well. So those 2 are probably equally in second. And then third, kind of a bit of a wild card. So when it's the first time working with someone, it's very, very difficult for me to understand culture and personality likes. So my usual go-to is someone who I know is going to be really, really good. two solid people and a bit of a wild card. And then from submissions thereon, it does get a lot easier for me. And every round of recruitment will always hire off the first three people. But I did try and also blend as well, because I know when I spoke to who has a accounting and professional services background, has come into the data. I'm not sure if I just had the right people available to speak to, for the people I was searching to, but some of the people who didn't have the financial background, who had just gone from like a data analyst, worked their way up to data analytics manager, or just stayed within data, they were equally as exceptional. They really were, and some of them had done FP&A reporting, some of them had reporting directly into the CFO, and I was quite surprised actually. So that's why I gave you two of each. Someone with an accounting background, someone without, and they all had some great strengths and some things to work on. But I think they're all pretty good submissions. Two of the questions that we filtered on all four of these people: number one, have they reported directly into C-suite? Because some other good people we've spoken to looked quite senior, but then they had a VP of data or maybe a data analytics lead, and between the C-suite. So all of these have direct experience working and reporting to C-suite. And the second thing, all of them in some capacity, some more, some less, have worked closely with the senior leaders within sales. The easy part of our job is matching the technical ability. The real hard part is the communication ability and their overall likability as well. So all of these four, I'm pretty confident, should be pretty good on that side, the communication, the ability and the likability. And then it just matters about on the nuances on the tech side, who you think can really add some value there. Yeah, they're all expecting to hear from me after this, so I'll get them booked in for 30-minute slots to speak with you. And just remind me, this first stage interview is going to be, I suppose, less technical, just get to know them, assess culture, assess how they speak, that sort of thing. The second stage will be, I imagine, probably next week. And was that the final stage? You were just planning on doing 2 stages for this, right? He said the most important things, well, I asked actually, what was going to be the most important things in the first 90 days? And he said, get a strong foothold in sales and make some good relationships with accounting and C-suite, of course. And I think those were the 2 main things that he said. So I'm going to really drill into the people that we speak to. That's important. Do you think it's realistic that we can get some feedback by Thursday for the candidates? Yeah. All right, I'll call all the candidates straight after this. I'll start putting them in your calendar, and then me and you will speak Thursday. I guess I'll speak to you Thursday. Just as we expected, 4 interviews out of 4. Now I've got to close this offer. I'm very good today. Thank you very much. Yeah, how was your weekend? Good. And you spoke to the team today. How happy are you? 100 out of 10 in happiness. That's so good to hear. I'm guessing by your happiness that you've already accepted the position, yeah? They could tell from the first interview that they spoke so highly of you, so they've got no doubts. And they actually sped up the process just for you. We obviously spoke about the 1st of November, and I said that was a bit too long, and credit to you because they've moved it along faster. So just 2 weeks away. Are you happy about starting so soon? Yeah, well, it's good that you're so excited to get back into it, and what a company to join. Someone that's doing some great things on the way up and kind of disrupting the industry as well. So I've got no doubt you'll do very well there. It's no problem. Just to give you a heads up, so we've actually got a customer success team here. What the head of that part of the business does, Skylar, she'll reach out to you, and if you've got some time over the next couple of weeks, please book in a call with her. What she wants to do is review the process that you've had with us to make sure, number 1, it's been good. Number 2, we got you the offer that you expected, and you can be as honest as you like, because I'm not on that call. And that really helps us with improve for feedback, and it's your time to be honest and let us know your experience as well. I appreciate that. And the final thing, it doesn't stop there. So Skylar actually keeps in contact with you well into the position as well. So month 1, 2, and 3. But we want to make sure that you're onboarded correctly and things go as well as we know they can. So that will be your new friend alongside me moving forward. I'll leave you. Have a great Monday, and we'll speak probably by the end of the week just to make sure you've got your contract and everything's official. Deal done. Bish, bash, bosh. Spencer Lodge. I'm very good this afternoon. I'm very good, yeah. Sat in Business Bay Square at the minute in the office. What about you? Most important question first. Did you get to eat some of those cupcakes, or did the team get them? I thought I'd use some initiative. I really liked the story about you getting Tony Robbins on the podcast. And I thought, you know what? You gave me a shout out on stage, subliminally. I really enjoyed your talk, by the way. Really enjoyed it. The energy was great. You spoke about a lot of the things that I hold closely to me: mindset, resilience, people before profit, looking after people first. And, you professionalize sales as well. You've been in sales a long time, and about 5 years ago, probably 6 years into sales, I said, I'm gonna be the best salesperson I can ever be. And I've invested a lot in myself, training, books, courses, and I thought, you know what? I'd like to speak to you. So that was the reason for the cupcakes, and I appreciate you making the time. I've been here for 20 days, so I have no idea what the UAE market's like. I don't know what the best sales approach is out here. I'm very fortunate that a lot of our business is spread between UK, EU, and US, so I am very grateful I don't have to aggressively hunt new business right now in the UAE. My challenges right now is probably landing in a new country and looking to land and expand with the local market. There is a market for what I do. It seems rather big. Fintech, financial services, and Web3, so blockchain. And it's just trying to understand that. I mean, you've been in Dubai for a long time, built a very credible network and presence from what it looks like. So I'd love to just pick your brains and, when you got here, what's changed? How do you go about business? I see you're very big on referrals rather than cold calling. What's the recruitment market like over here from people that you've dealt with? So just so I make sure I heard you correctly then, so the last three things you said, you mentioned, number one is the networking side of things, which I've been told is huge over here, right? So I'm doing my best to get out and meet people. Got a game of paddle tonight and a game of paddle tomorrow with two different groups. I think that's the national sport over here, paddle. It's everywhere. But I'm also trying to do some tech-focused ones as well. I was at GitX last week, GITEX, the very large tech event. And then coincidentally on Thursday, I've got a meeting with an investor friend about setting up an event. So it sounds like I'm on the right page from that side of things. Second thing you mentioned was giving more than taking, which I'm a big fan of. And niche down, which I think I'm doing. I'm doing my best to niche down a bit more as well. Because you've been here for so long, I imagine there's not many companies you don't know in the UAE, right? In terms of like your ideal companies that you'd like to work with, you probably know them all. Networking is a big priority, so I'm trying to get out as much as I physically can. Things like this are very valuable, and I like to meet people and hang around with people that, number one, I can help, and number two, I can actually build a relationship with. A couple of questions. Where should I be? And when you were first here, how were you positioning yourself? Well, that's good to know. I'm 28 episodes in on my podcast, but I haven't done a UAE guest just yet. So that's going to be a focus now. I'm going to try and get like you said, the 20 best people that I want to get in front of, invite them on, start getting people on there, speaking to them. Final thing, you mentioned some of those referral agreements. Have you got any recruiters? And if so, how have they performed before? Industry doesn't matter too much, but it has to be a software product. It could be like web-based or app-based. So anyone building something techy, so a bit of software. And then like the smallest would be as small as like 2 to 5 people, like a really small company. And then the highest would be maybe one of these scale-ups who have raised a bit of money and they're going from like 50 to 150 people as well. There's quite a few of these over here. But it's always got to be software-based, like a mobile application or a web application, always. So that was my first ever book, which I wrote myself, How to Become a Better Recruiter, with a psychology lens on it, to focus on people, not monetary transactions. It's very easy to look at the money in our industry because our product is a human. So yeah, it's called the 33 Ways to Become a Better Recruiter and Human. Spencer, do you do personal mentoring? Or you have like a company that does that? What do you look for when you consider mentoring people? Is that what you focus on just as much? Is it like the beliefs, the patterns and the mindset? Sounds very structured. When is the next availability for that? I will digest that information. That might be more appealing than I first thought with me being new here. So. Spencer, thank you. Genuinely, thank you for all the information. I know you're a busy man, so spending some time with me today, I really appreciate it. And everything you said, I'm going to action straight away. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your time. And you, man. See you later. It's Wednesday already. Quick coffee stop in our favourite spot, Kimmy's. Lots happened in the last 24 hours, but I haven't recorded an awful lot, and that's because there's been some ups and downs. And last night we had one of the most difficult calls you can ever get in recruitment, and it was probably one of the most difficult calls I've had this year. So I'm going to quickly tell you about what's been happening, and I'll tell you what that call said and what impact that has on us as a business. So last 24 hours, well, personally, I'm on my paddle game. So I went to networking last night, 7:30 till 8:30, and then I got a surprise invite to one this morning as well. So I skipped the gym, paddle networking from 7 till 8 this morning, and met a couple of people, a few recruiters, very, very good. I'm enjoying getting out and meeting as many people as I can. From a work perspective, we've had 2 meetings with startups who have come through our ShipShape partnership. We spent 40 minutes with each, and we were talking about them looking to raise investment. The interesting thing about these two, they're both profitable and have never taken any capital at all. One's doing around 50k monthly recurring revenue. The other is doing around 25k, but to be profitable in your first year or two, if anyone's watching this and that's you, well done. Seriously, well done. If you've avoided the VC route for now, you've got paying customers, you've got revenue, and it's increasing, give yourself a pat on the back. After I tell you about this call that we've had, I've actually got a meeting with another startup. So the networking event that I did last week, I actually met 2 co-founders who are based in Saudi Arabia. We connected on LinkedIn, they reached out to me, and we've set up a time to speak. So that's the next meeting that you're going to see. This week is very focused on business development and winning new business. So you're going to see exactly how I structure new meetings with startups on this side of the world. But this call, let's get into it. I need to take a sip of my coffee for this one. And I've got to be careful because a lot of this stuff is confidential, but I just want to give you an insight into what goes on into the world of tech recruitment, especially when you work with hyper-growth VC-backed startups. So we've got a very loyal client, a strong partnership with this company, and for whatever reason, to summarize the long story short, because if I go into details, it might be fairly obvious. We have 3 new starters starting with the business on the 27th, which is next week. Sorry, 2 on the 27th and 1 on the 3rd of November. Last night, I got a call expecting it to be good. We very rarely get bad calls, certainly not to this extent. And the founder said, I've got some very, very bad news. Okay, I thought maybe one of the new starters is underperforming, perhaps we can work through that. I can speak to them. Skylar and customer success can speak to them as well. And for whatever reason, there's been a miscommunication between the board, the VC committee, and the company. And I am still shocked that they have revoked all 3 offers. So we had a huge financial investment in this, like multi-5 figure. I don't want to go into numbers because this channel isn't about numbers. I don't want you to know what we're doing in terms of monthly revenue because that's not important. I'm teaching and showing what recruitment's like, best practice and how we do things. Money's not important. What is important is that these people have left jobs. 2 have left permanent positions and they are working their notice period and they're 1 week away from a start date. They've literally exited their past company. The other was working contract and has already left that contract. This is the human part of the job that no one shows, and I feel it. I genuinely feel it inside. It's tough. It's so tough. I've had to pick up the phone this morning and call all these candidates, all 3 of them, and let them know that they now don't have a job. And I've got to try and support them into finding something new through no fault of our own. And I can understand these things happen. VCs, companies, committees will look at things for a board lens, whereas we actually need to consider it through a human lens. These people have financial investments, they have their own lives, and they have emotions. This is tough. You can probably hear the emotion in my voice whilst I'm talking through this. So a big part of my day today is actually fighting this fire and making sure these people are looked after and aren't going to go without any money to pay their bills. And in between that, which is a big enough problem in itself, I've still got to take these meetings and win new business. Well, first world problem, hey, not complaining, just showing you what it's like when you actually work with VC-backed startups where there is committees involved, there is board members, you need sign-off, you need approval. This doesn't happen often. I'll be completely upfront, this hasn't happened this year, but when it does, it rocks your world. Not just my world, more importantly, the candidate's world as well. And I can't obviously show any of these conversations because they're very emotional and, this is personal to every single person. And I know I haven't shared enough information here, but that's because, again, it is confidential. But hopefully it gives you an idea of what's been going on and how we're trying to manage the situation. So the next time you'll see me is when I'm speaking to a Saudi Arabian tech startup, hopefully with a more uplifting tone, to see what their plans are, if we might be able to help, and if they might have any planned recruitment sometime soon. How are you, man? I'm very good today. Yeah, it's very hot here in Dubai today and very humid, but apart from that, good. I didn't get to speak to you an awful lot at the networking event recently. It's very hard because the table was so long. If you're up this end, you can't speak to people on this end. So did you have a good night? It's very diverse, right? There was people from all different countries and, it's a great way to speak to people and build relationships. What was the reason you were in Dubai? I was there doing my video interviews and I was speaking to different countries and trying to show the world what is being built in different countries outside of the UK and Europe. So I really enjoyed it. It was so busy though. I didn't get to go to Expand, North Star. I didn't make it to that side. I only went to Jitex. But the event, it was incredible. It really was. Did you manage to come away with what you were looking for? Were you trying to speak to certain people, maybe pull some leads? What was it for you? Yeah, good. Well, what is it like building a startup in Bahrain? Are there hubs, maybe the government? Who helps you out and guides you? So what are the next few months and the next 6 months looking like for you? Are you trying to raise funding or are you going down the acquiring customers and continue building route? What's the plan? Now, what sort of ways could I help you? I'm obviously based over in Dubai. Are you looking for new customers? Is that what your goal is for the next few months? Yeah. Have you spoken to many investors? Have you actually been in front of them before? That's the best way to spend your time, because the other way is you focus on investment so much that you forget about the customers and you are just continually chasing investment and capital. And you're maybe forgetting about features and forgetting about the customer. So the way you're doing it is probably the best way. Because when you speak to the investors, they're always going to ask about how many users do you have on the platform? Are you making any money? When will you be profitable? Those are the three questions that every single person is going to ask. Yeah, it's a whole different world. It's a very, very difficult world to move through as well. So I imagine you've probably had quite a bit of advice already, yeah? You've spoken to some good people. I've just sent you a platform. So we are the official and exclusive partner to it's essentially Google for startups. So like you use Google to search for something, it enables you to search for investors that invest in your space and in your country. Have a play around on that. It's completely free, and it will show you like who's investing, how much they invest, and you can just familiarize yourself with some data. Outside of that, I think you're doing the right thing. You're focusing on bringing in money. You're actually generating revenue, which is really good, because sometimes people are trying to raise money without actually having any paying customers. That's always difficult. The one thing I've always been told is start early. So if you think you want to raise in January or September next year, start now. It's going to take way longer than expected. Like, it really is. There's going to be a lot of rejection. You're going to speak to many people, some of whom won't have the time or won't invest in your market. Some of whom might say you need to be doing more money. Some of whom might say it looks interesting, but come back in 6 months. So if I was in your position, and for the people we've helped raise capital before, just start straight away, because it's going to take a long time. And to start, all you need really is a business plan and a pitch deck. There are some very helpful people out there who will make time, and I think it comes down to, at the stage you're at, is volume. So message as many people as you can, turn up to the right events, and you will have to get comfortable with people not being interested, because your vision is your vision, right? And I can tell you're passionate, and you're actually solving a problem here, but some people just won't be invested in that. So there's going to be a lot of rejection. And I think if you get comfortable with that, and you get comfortable with putting in the reps, and then when you actually get to speak to people, just for context, my investments, I made 3 investments this year, and they were into UK tech startups, but they're actually my clients as well, so I invest into my clients. When you get in front of someone who's a VC investor, you want to ask as many questions as you can. And I would ask them things like, at what stage do you think I might need investment? At what stage, or how many users do you think, I would be ready to receive investment? I would do that 5, 10 times. You might have 10 conversations between now and December. And then in January, you might hit a spot of growth, and you might be like, right now I'm ready. I've got all the information. But for now, although you don't want investment, I would start positioning your mind that you will be ready for investment in about a year's time. But for now, build some knowledge, build some connections, and understand what VCs are looking for early stage startups. And the 3 things, just to give you a clue: users, revenue, and profitability. I think the more detail you can go into, the more you can obsess over data, because all VCs are data-led. They're going to look at the numbers don't lie. And only you will know when you're investment ready. You'll know when the user base starts to go like this, or the revenue starts to go like this, and you think now you want to expand the different countries. That might be the right time, but only you will know. Send me your deck, let me review it, let me make sure the best information is on there. I'm actually reviewing 2 other ones this week, and I've said I'll get back to them by Friday, so I'll do the same for you. I'll give you some pointers on what the VCs that we have worked with, what stands out to them. And once I give you that information, you can do what you like with it. And then I'll speak to you again in a few weeks, maybe a month's time, and I would just start sending it to people, outreaching people, and it's a bit of a numbers game, trying to raise investment in the early stages. So just get out there and speak to people, just like you're doing now, man. I respect it. I appreciate you also. That's no problem. We will chat again in around a month's time, but for now, send me the deck, let me review it, I will get back to you, and we will speak again. Thank you.
I thank God for the blogs, Susan, dripping. Me and bro in the M-way doing mileage, we've been missing. Now she ain't calling you, rude boy, it's me that she missing. Look a flat, now I'm missing. Man, I'm running to the peas. Then my body bring me trees.
It's Friday already, and this week has been a tale of 2 halves. We've had half of a great week and half of a really challenging week with some tough conversations. So what's been going on? We've had lots of new business meetings. I've been speaking to people over the phone and online, and the conversations have been fairly good. We haven't onboarded any new vacancies this week, I don't think, but the conversations are there, it's flowing, and I'm speaking to the right people. Obviously, earlier in the week, we had that incredibly challenging conversation with one of our clients about some of the hires being pulled. We've been waiting for them to speak to investors to see if there's anything that they can do. And honestly, those conversations have been tough, and it's still going on today. So we're still trying to resolve that. But let's speak positively. Today, we are expecting a minimum of one offer, potentially 2 or 3. Let's take a seat by here, actually, in the sun. So we are expecting one offer this morning, which we are going to walk into the office now, check our emails, and I'm hoping it's going to be there. We'll catch that one live time. So that is for a US-based company. We're working with a CFO from around 2 weeks ago now. If the offer goes in today, that would be a time to hire of about 10 days, which would be incredible. Not our quickest. Quickest is 7, but 10 would still be very, very good. So that'd be a great start to the day. Outside of that, I'm really hopeful that we might have 2 other offers. Let me just tell you about this scenario. So we are also working with another startup based in the southwest of the UK. They've just raised some money for a crowdfund, and they are looking to add a senior back-end engineer to their team. We have found the senior back-end engineer within about 2 weeks, I think 15 days, which is a little bit longer than we want, but still within our average time to hire. And it's a bit of a dilemma. So the head of engineering is actually leaving, a good friend of mine, and the senior back-end engineer is good. He is really, really good. However, there's just a small team of 2 outside of the head of engineering, and they're unsure if this person is going to be good enough to hit the ground running without a senior leader. So what have we done? We've had to try and find a replacement for the head of engineering, and we've done it within 4 working days. So today, there is a final stage interview for a head of engineering for a startup. So what does that mean? If you haven't guessed already, if that head of engineering gets the position with the startup, we also get the green light on the other hire to hire the senior back-end engineer. The interview's about 12:30. It's going to be 1 hour. It's online. And this afternoon, we could be closing 3 deals in a single day. I mean, it's nice to get 1 deal on a Friday, but 2, 3, that's very, very rare. Although, I think in last month's episode, over the last few weeks, I actually closed 4 in a single day. So I don't know what I'm doing, but it's working. So hopefully, if the recruitment gods are with us, we could close 3 deals today. I'm very confident on one of them. Let's see what happens with the other 2, but I know it's going to be a good day. Just about to make our first call to one of the candidates who has an offer. I'm going to deliver it, and I'm pretty certain this is going to be an accept and a very, very good start to Friday. Hello, how are you? Happy Friday. Yeah, for sure. What's the weather like back home? That's not good. I'm still in Dubai, yeah, and it's very hot, probably like 34 degrees in a minute, so yeah, no complaints from me. I appreciate your patience over the last few days. Been a bit back and forth with the team, and yeah, it's been a real tough decision. There was actually 2 of you that made it to the final stage, and what they thought was going to be fairly straightforward has actually been quite difficult. And I heard back an hour ago, and it is good news for you, and they actually want to move forward and make you the offer. They spoke very, very highly about you. Yeah, just for context, the other person had a considerable amount more experience in terms of number of years, and perhaps on paper looked more of a better fit just based on what they've been doing. But I'll share some text with you that they shared with us, and yeah, they're very complimentary about what you've been doing, the way that you approach stakeholder communication, and they think that you're the best person for them. And even better news, I managed to get you a salary of 80,000. There's a very, very good package as well, by the way. I'll share that with you. There's an opportunity to earn a bonus on top of that. There is private healthcare, car, salary sacrifice. There's quite a lot, actually, more than I actually have for some of the other teams. I'm not sure why that is. Perhaps it's because it's a US-based role. But yeah, 80K base salary with a bonus on top. So I don't think it gets much better than that for a Friday. I'll get on that today, no problem. And I'm sure by your tone of voice and how happy you are, you're happy to accept, yeah? Good news, good news. The contract will be out later today, and then I'll send you the benefits package. I'll also send you the feedback that we got. And then me and you and our customer success team will keep in contact with you throughout your transition and even through to the onboarding period as well. Sounds good. All right, well done again, and have a great Friday. Hopefully you can celebrate in some way. No problem. Thanks. Bye-bye. As you might have guessed, those 2 extra deals didn't come in, so I find myself wrapping up this week in the life on a Saturday evening whilst I'm on my laptop in my Gmail, sending out hyper-personalized emails to CTOs in North Carolina. What a fun life. Those 2 deals are still in the mixer, and they've been pushed to next week. There is an extra stage for the head of software engineering. So next Wednesday, he has that final stage. If he's successful, as I mentioned in this video, we will have an offer for the senior software engineer as well. So hopefully that'll be a good start to next week. But let's look at the positives. We did actually manage 2 deals this week with 2 new clients, and they were both based in the US, so I'm very happy with that. Both very large deals. And here I am in Dubai working across 4 time zones, the UAE, Europe, the UK, and the USA. In between all that, me and Pete managed to speak online about setting up a networking event over here that me and him will run for entrepreneurs and high net worth individuals who actually want to make an impact in the world. And we managed to meet a tech Saudi startup who are looking to raise capital in the next few months. I did everything I could to point them in the right direction. Sadly, I don't have any VC connections over this side of the world. Mine are based in the UK. But one of my big goals over the next 6 months is to prove my worth and my credibility, get in front of some VCs and make sure they get access to the best startups in the region. Next week is going to be an absolute banger, by the way. We're going to Blockchain Life, and just like last week, we got some content of us interviewing entrepreneurs at Gitex or Jitex, as I've been told many, many times. Blockchain Life is the exact same. So we're going to speak into crypto entrepreneurs, crypto millionaires, blockchain enthusiasts, and everything in between to tell you, the viewers, exactly what's happening over the next few years in the Web3 space. So make sure you stick around for that week. You're not going to want to miss it. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.
Run through 5, 1, know what I expected this week. I'm alive, 1, that's what I expected this week.